All right, welcome to ULT. I'm going to do a quick, well, not quick, but I think I'm going to do a video here on how I pass $50,000 Apex evaluation accounts. We're going to see if we can get 5 of them passed here in one trade and kind of walk you through that process. So first of all, a little caveat before we start is this is not a beginner video. If you're new to trading, learning how to trade, this is not the video for you. So just click away, go somewhere else. Um, this is very high risk, high reward um, type trading, and it's really just to get these accounts passed as quick as possible. Apex normally has a 1 day to pass. Um, that's what they require. And so right now price is pushed up. We're into the overnight open. If you want to see how I have my chart set up, I'll include a link to a video where I walk through all of that right here. Or here, I'm not sure. Right up here somewhere. And let's see what goes on. Basically what I do is I look for a valid entry, look for where I think there could be a reaction. And the way I have my ATM strategy set up, I normally do 5 contracts with a stop loss of 60, which is half the drawdown roughly, with 5 contracts, and then a profit target of 122 ticks, which would pass the account. So it's 30 points is basically what we're looking for. So 30 points, that would be that big of a move right there is what we need. And that's what we're looking for. So the big challenge and the big thing you have to kind of keep in mind is the trailing drawdown portion of this. If it goes $1,000 into profit and then pulls back, you lose that $1,000. So oftentimes, if price hesitates, I'll take profits, even though sometimes that means I have to take more than one trade when the original trade would have got there. I really kind of like this bounce off of this area. We got kind of the bottom of the open range here. We got the overnight open. We've got a red line. Everything's kind of looking good right here. Might have missed it. Can't get in now. Let's wait and see how this price action unfolds here. The risk with getting in now is it could whip around and pull back and bounce back up. A better entry would have been to get in kind of in this area. And honestly, just looking at this, if you'd have sold here, you would have got, well, 20 points. Got most of it just in that little move there. So let's see what happens here. Right now we're kind of bull flagging, so that's why I'm a little nervous to get in short. Kind of need it to play out here briefly and see what's going on. My yellow line up here is the, okay, see, actually I like this better. Probably good I didn't jump in right there, but no, I'm going to wait. Got some conflicting information here, so we're going to wait and see what this does. I always like to keep an eye on the ranges that we're trading in so I have an idea on whether or not we have space to do what we want to do. We're just going right up into all this consolidation from the open range, which isn't ideal. A better entry would have been something like this, where you get a low, a nice round pullover to, our gold line here, and a drop. In this scenario, I would have taken probably a more aggressive entry rather than waiting for the break of a candle. I would have probably got in right at the line or as close to the line as I could, expecting some kind of a reaction there. This is kind of an all or nothing type of a scenario, which is why trade it a little more risky. You need to give it as much room as possible, and if it doesn't work, then you start with a different one, get another account. Again, this is not how to trade. This is how I pass evaluation accounts. And then once they get into the PA stage, then you can start. You need to have a plan and a strategy for how to manage those moving forward. But at the end of the day, prop firms create a pretty specific and unique kind of ecosystem, right? The parameters you have to trade in are pretty limiting, and in some ways it's kind of a game, and you've got to learn how to play the game. You've got to learn how to be successful within the framework that they've provided to us. Okay.
Order
This is a
submitted.
scenario where I'm going to probably be a little risky here. All right, there we go. Our P&L is $3,030. So um, that's it. That's passing evaluation accounts. Um, Again, just to recap, the idea behind it is simply finding an area where you expect to bounce and capitalizing on that bounce by going in with, I'm not going to say maximum leverage because, especially in NQ, if you go in 10 contracts, that doesn't give you much room to wiggle at all. You noticed I got in here. It did pull back a little ways, pulled back about $1,000 before it pushed up, but it did. So that's how that works. In this case, the line that I was looking at was a combination of the overnight. Well, it was really just the overnight open, but the overnight open was supported by the bottom of the open range. It was supported by the red line. So basically a break and retest, and then I got in as soon as we popped back down here because I'm looking for the maximum. I need 30 points, and so I want to give myself the best chance of getting it in one bounce. I want to take, ideally you do it in one trade like you saw here. Um, this was my second try on these. I did get in before I had everything set up to record this. I did 5 accounts over here, and I was trying to get it set up when it touched the line, and then I didn't have everything set up. I got in late, ended up getting stopped out, tried again, got stopped out. So I lost the first 5. This was the second 5. So it took me 10 accounts to get 5 passed. My history is about 3 to 1. I'll go on streaks where I can pass them like, clockwork, and then other times it just doesn't work quite as well. So about 3 to 1 is my historical win rate doing this. So then once you get them into the PA phase, that's the next challenge. So watch my recap videos to see how that goes. And anyway, maybe you found this useful. If you did, hit subscribe. If you want to try out an Apex account, they are 80% off right now through the end of April. Making this on April 17th, 2025. So for the next couple of weeks, use code ULT to get that discount. And good luck to you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.